Hello, this is Forbes Horton with Forbes Horton Yachts. I'm standing aboard Shadow, our Passport 42. The boat has a lot of significant upgrades, such as new fiberglass decks with Cusa foam coring, Harkin roller furling. The mast has been removed, new standing rigging, new canvas, custom gimbaled radar arch, fresh all grip on the hull and deck, cockpit. Really is a fantastic buy, and I would encourage anyone interested in a cruising boat to make sure they come look at Shadow. One of the features that's important to note on any offshore sailing boat is the cockpit. Shadow's cockpit is very, very deep. It has high coamings, which make it very comfortable and safe for offshore passage making. It's got a nice binnacle with electronics mounted just ahead of the wheel, which I prefer. Inevitably, when they're on the bulkhead, someone is going to be sitting in front of the depth sounder right when you need it most. The cockpit's T-shaped, and again, you can see the fresh all grip. Really an outstanding value. So here we are below on Shadow, the Passport 42. This boat really took my breath away when I first came aboard for a couple of reasons. One is this elaborate teak joiner work that you see throughout the boat. All of the cabinets, all of the woodworking is done from solid lumber. So you're not going to find any veneers in this boat. You're not going to find any sections where they could have cut costs. When this boat was built, really was a special time in boat building. They had an abundance of materials and they had a cheap labor force. Those two things come together and you end up with beautiful curves, beautiful inlay work like on this table. And I'm sorry I didn't move the sails, but it's 85 degrees here in Maryland and I don't feel like getting any hotter than I am. But you can see that the woodwork in the boat is in excellent condition. The cushions, the fabric, the soft goods are all relatively recent. I believe they're 2010 vintage. The galley on the Passport 42 is quite possibly one of the best features and something should be considered for any long-term voyaging or live aboard scenarios. Double sinks, going to drain on either tack as they're located fairly close to centerline. We've got an unused Tasco LPG oven, and you can see still got the paperwork in it. She's got the propane tanks located aft, which I can show you when you get aboard. Boat has a dedicated freezer with a dedicated fridge, nicely insulated. And one of the features I always look for is a front opening ice box because the coldest beer is always located at the bottom of the fridge. Microwave, plenty of countertop space, and this area here. The Passport 42, these are all semi-custom built boats. One of the things I like about Shadow is that the original owner decided to forego the quarter berth option and build in this excellent workbench slash storage area. You've got incredibly deep hanging lockers. You've got lots of storage throughout, and they're very, very deep. You have all this extra counter space as well, so when you're having your pizza party in Rum Key, you can roll out enough dough for the whole cruising fleet in the anchorage. The Passport 42 utilizes a proper forward-facing nav station. Modern designs have really gone away from the nav desk, favoring a binnacle-mounted chart plotter or even perhaps a chart plotter located at what they refer to as the navigation area. This is a proper desk. You can put a full-size chart on it. You've got places here for all of your navigation tools, dividers, pencils, calculators, HO 249 if you're still into celestial. The nav desk is plenty deep, and it's a great place even if you're not navigating to take care of ship's papers, entry papers, or living aboard bills or boat payments or central agency agreements that you'll sign for Forbes Horton Yachts. Here I am in the forward stateroom on the Passport 42 Shadow. This boat has what we call an offset double, which is sort of a hybrid between a V berth and a Pullman berth. Again, you've got lots of beautiful woodwork, lots of storage, and the thing I like about a bunk like this is that you do not end up lying on the crease or of the filler piece like when you're sleeping in a V berth. Secondly, sheets from almost any department store will fit a bunk like this, so you don't have to go have custom sheets made like you would with a V-berth. Here I am standing in the shower stall of the Passport 42 Shadow. Shower stall is something most people underestimate the value of. And I can tell you from first-hand experience that having the ability to come somewhere to take off your foul weather gear, your bathing suits, or take a shower when you're in a crowded marina will pay dividends in the cruising experience. We've got a marble sink, we've got a proper electric flushing head, and also a head that's large enough to actually change in, again, take off sea boots in, and it's executed, you know, like as a fine home would be. So this is the port side settee aboard the Passport 42 Shadow. You can see it's an L-shaped settee, new cushions, and we've got a fantastic table with a leaf that drops down and a giant galley, so I can see a turkey with all the trimmings here on some November day in the Caribbean. Here we are in the aft cabin of the Passport 42 Shadow. This cabin is absolutely large enough for full-time living aboard. The bunk is large and with plenty of headroom for someone over 6 feet. I'm 6'1", and I've got at least a couple of inches on either side. You've got lots of good ventilation. You've got 2 port lights that open and also an overhead hatch, good reading lamps, a nice mirror, plenty of storage cabinetry for your clothes and old data marine instruments. Again, Shadow really is a special boat. She's absolutely aggressively priced, and she was ready to sell this fall.